What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday, November the 17th. We got a big 11 game schedule tonight. Interesting matchups, but also a very tough card, guys. We've got a lot of favorites here, a lot of road favorites, laying some big numbers on the road. Also, the injury report. See a lot of players, important players listed as questionable. It's going to be a tough video, guys, but we're going to get through it. We're going to break down every single game like we do as usual. Do our analysis, see if we can find an edge in these games, come up with some winners. Overall, guys, I got to warn you, tonight looks like a perfect candidate day for some big surprises. Those of you that play some money line parlays on the favorites, be a little careful. I think we are going to have some surprises tonight, but we're going to get into more detail when we look at each game separately and see which ones could be a little trappy. Anyways, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel like I say in every video, guys, and I bust your balls. I know I do, but I would appreciate it if you guys did hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. And as usual, guys, one more thing, like I always do, my best bet of the day, about an hour before tip-off at the bottom as a pinned video, also on my Twitter at Pick'emNBABets, you can see down below on the screen. With all that out of the way, guys, let's check out tonight's action, see if we can come up with some winners. Let's go. In our first game of the night, we got the Milwaukee Bucks and Charlotte taking on the Hornets. The Bucks currently 7.5-point road favorites. I have them favored by 5.5 points. Milwaukee 7-4 on the year. Currently on a 2-game winning streak. The team has been showing signs, guys. They have been showing signs that they're ready to pick things up, make their move, start getting on a little bit of a streak. Especially in their last ball game against the Raptors. Big blowout win. They won that by 16. Game wasn't as close as that final score actually even indicates. The team was also playing without Giannis. Lillard had a big game, scored 30 plus. Milwaukee looking like they're ready to go on a streak. The Charlotte Hornets 3-7 on the year. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. 2-game losing streak. The team obviously on a downtrend. Like I've talked about plenty of times, guys. Charlotte, lots of injuries. Tonight they are going to be getting Miles Bridges back, which is very positive for the team. Very high energy guy. He was the team's leading scorer a couple seasons ago when before he got suspended with his domestic violence charges and stuff. The team, though, is also missing some other very important players. Brandon Miller, Gordon Hayward did not play in the team's previous game. Loss at home to the Miami Heat. Tonight listed as questionable. As we see, guys, in this game, Giannis questionable on one side, Brandon Miller, Gordon Hayward questionable on the other. Terry Rozier been missing, not expect to come back in this game either. For the video's sake, guys, I'm going to take the Bucks here. I kind of like what they've been showing, like I said, with the -7.5. I think they can win this game, but I'm expecting this game close towards game time. The numbers are going to look nothing like it is right now. Check back later, guys. Hold on this game a bit. Don't put in your bets too early here. Milwaukee -7.5 for the video's sake, though. Up next, we got the New York Knicks in Washington, D.C. taking on the Wizards. The Knicks currently 6.5-point road favorites. I had them favored by 5. Knicks 6-5 on the year. Currently on a pretty good run, though. 4 wins out of their last 5 games. The Knicks on an uptrend. On the injury report, do have a couple of players on the list. Quentin Grimes added to the injury report. He hurt his hand in the last game against the Hawks. R.J. Barrett has missed the team's last few games with some migraine headaches, also listed as questionable. 2 important players. Got to check their status before tip-off. The Washington Wizards 2-9 on the year, currently on a 4-game losing streak. The Wizards, like we've talked about plenty of times, guys, will probably finish last in the Eastern Conference and probably the worst record in the NBA. In this ballgame, guys, 6.5 points. It is a 1.5 higher than what my estimate was for the Knicks. But, guys, this game could be a little bit tricky. The Washington Wizards are a run-and-gun team. They like to get up and down the court, jack up a lot of threes, try to force the opposition into an up-tempo game. The Knicks, more of a slowdown team. They like to play defense, keep the scores low. Now, in this game, guys, 6.5 points, a 1.5 higher than what I had estimated. The chances are I will not be putting any action on this game, but I think Washington, if they can get running and get the Knicks to play an up-tempo game with them, they could keep this within the number. I'm going to take him here with the +6.5, even though, like I said, guys, probably no action for me in this game. Up next, we've got the Philadelphia 76ers in Atlanta taking on the Hawks. Sixers currently 1-point road favorites. I had them favored by 2.5 points. The Sixers 8-3 on the year, lost the top spot in the Eastern Conference to the Boston Celtics. They were in action against each other in the team's previous game. Sixers actually a disappointing loss considering the fact that they were taking on the Celtics without Kristaps Porzingis and Jaylen Brown. Those 2 players were not in the lineup for Boston. The Sixers could not capitalize, dropped that game by 10. Another poor performance. 2-game losing streak now for the Sixers. A possible downtrend could be in the works. Joel Embiid listed as questionable for tonight. He was listed as questionable also in the game against the Celtics. Ended up playing tonight against the Hawks. Might end up sitting, guys. We gotta monitor his status. The Hawks 6-5 on the year, one game above 500, 2-3 in their last 5. The Hawks also not playing that great, currently on a downtrend. Both teams not really playing that well as of late. How do I see this game playing out? It's gonna be a tough game, that is for sure. I'm actually gonna go with the Hawks here, guys, with the +1 at home. I wouldn't be surprised if Joel Embiid actually ends up sitting. I'm gonna take this early. If he doesn't play, guys, this is going to go up. Atlanta should become at least a 3-point favorite. I'm going to jump on this early, take Atlanta with the +1 in this game. Up next, we've got the Detroit Pistons in Cleveland taking on the Cavs. Cavs currently 8.5-point home favorites. I had them favored by 10.5 points. The Pistons 2-10 on the year, 9-game losing streak, obviously on a downtrend. They have been struggling with a lot of injuries. On the injury report, Jalen Duren, the starting center, is going to miss once again. Alec Burks recently came back in the team's previous game. He should help them going forward. The Pistons, guys, obviously on a downtrend. They have shown signs of playing well in their last few. Just details here and there. They just can't finish the job at the end of the games. The Cavs 5-6 on the year, one game below 500, coming back from a 4-game road trip out west where they split 2-2. And their last one in Portland, won that game by 14. Darius Garland missed that game with a neck strain. He's listed as questionable again tonight. Donovan Mitchell also listed as questionable tonight, battling a hamstring injury. Got to see if these two guys are going to be in or out, of course. The Cavs, one of the better home teams traditionally in the league, last couple of seasons, that is. Tonight, 8.5-point favorites. How am I going to see this playing out, guys? I'm actually going to take a play here with the Pistons. For some reason, guys, this game has surprise written all over it. I would not even be surprised if the Pistons actually even got a straight-up win in Cleveland. We see Darius Garland Mitchell on the injury report as questionable. Line 2 points lower than my estimate. Don't know, guys. This looks like the Pistons, and the Pistons have been making their moves in the last few games. Tonight could be the night where they catch the Cavs off guard. Detroit +8.5, my pick. I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit on that money line, guys. I think we might have a surprise here in the works. Up next, we got the Sacramento Kings in San Antonio taking on the Spurs. The Kings 7.5-point road favorites. I also had them favored by 7.5. Line looks accurate. Sacramento 4-game winning streak, on an uptrend, playing some pretty good basketball. And their last one blew the wheels off the Lakers on the road, 125-110. Team is playing very well, looking sharp. On the injury report, nothing to report here. They should be at full strength. San Antonio Spurs, on the other hand, 3-8 on the year, on a 6-game losing streak, on a downtrend. Some more bad news for San Antonio. Devin Vassell is not going to play tonight, the starting point guard, dealing with an adductor injury, not going to be playing. Keldon Johnson is going to play. Trey Jones also listed as doubtful. Now in this ball game, guys, a couple of teams that like to run and gun. Not much defense going to be played in this game. What's the over-under here? It's at 237.5. The reason for the line, the number being this high, both teams like to score a lot of points. In this game, guys, I think since both teams are run and gun, if Sacramento can't keep hitting their shots at the same clip that they've been hitting the last couple of games, San Antonio could very easily stay in this ball game. I'm actually going to take him here with the +7.5. It is a big number, and it is scary to bet against the Kings these days, but the Spurs, guys, I kind of like him here. I'm going to take him with the +7.5. Up next, we've got the Boston Celtics in Toronto taking on the Raptors. Celtics currently 7-point road favorites. I had them favored by 7.5 points. Celtics 9-2 on the year. First place in the Eastern Conference once again. Big 10-point win on the road. Very impressive against the Sixers. They were playing without Kristaps Porzingis and Jaylen Brown. Like we've talked about plenty of times, guys, the Celtics, a very top-heavy team. To manage to get a win in Philly without these two players, very impressive. On the injury report, both players listed as questionable for tonight. Got to monitor their status, of course, closer towards tip-off. The Raptors, 7-point home dogs. They are currently 5-6 on the year, one game below 500. They've lost 2 out of their last 3 ball games, have looked a little shaky, and even in their win against the Wizards, the 4-point win, they got that after being down by 20, made a big run to come back. And their last one, dropped the game against a short-handed Bucks team. The Bucks were playing without Giannis, lost that game by 16. On the injury report, they are going to be getting Gary Trent Jr. back tonight. OG Anunoby still expected to miss. Now in this ball game, guys, the Celtics, the ultimate favorite in this game. These two teams actually played against each other just last week in Boston Garden. The Celtics won that game comfortably by 23 points. Tonight, like I said, they are the favorites. We do got to see the status of Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis. What I'm going to be doing in this game, I'm going to be taking a play on the total here. I'm going to go with the under 221.5. I think this is going to be a low-scoring ball game. Raptors, if they're to have a chance, they're going to have to play defense. If they go in an up-tempo, high-scoring game, that could be a problem. I'm going to take a total play here, under 221.5. Up next, we got the Orlando Magic in Chicago taking on the Bulls. Bulls currently 2-point home favorites. I had them favored by 1.5. Orlando 6-5 on the year, one game above 500, just 2 wins in their last 5 games. But I wouldn't say they're really downtrending. The scheduling has been rough for the Orlando Magic. They've also been dealing with some injuries. They did get Gary Harris back in the team's last game against the Bulls. Wendell Carter Jr. and Markelle Fultz still going to be missing. The Bulls 4-8 on the year, 4 games below 500. Probably where I expect them to be. The team is not that talented. We've talked about this plenty of times. They are currently on a 2-game losing streak, just 2 wins in their last 5 games. In their last one against the Magic, we're at home. This is going to be the second game of a little mini series at home for the Bulls. DeMar DeRozan did not play in the game. He was out for personal reasons, listed as questionable for tonight. Now in this ball game, guys, the Orlando Magic, a more serious ball club, more talented. The Bulls, of course, are capable of doing the damage. They came real close to making a huge comeback in the last game. Paolo Banchero made a last-second shot to give the Magic a 2-point win in that game. What am I going to do in this game, guys? I'm going to take the Magic in this game with the +2. They're just a better ball club, guys. I'm going to take them here with the +2, my pick in this game. Up next, we got the Denver Nuggets on the road in New Orleans taking on the Pelicans. Nuggets currently 4.5-point road favorites. I had them favored by 3 points. Line, 1.5 points off my estimate with the actual line. The Nuggets 9-2 on the year. Obviously on an uptrend, first place in the Western Conference. I've won 4 out of their last 5 games. Even though the last couple, they have looked a bit shaky. And the loss on the road to the Houston Rockets. And their last one, just a 3-point win at home against the Clippers, where they have been dominant. Actually looked a bit vulnerable in that game. Jamal Murray, we know, is going to be out for at least the rest of this month with a hamstring injury. Obviously not expected to play tonight. The Pelicans are 5-6 on the year, 1 game below 500. Snapped out of a little funk that they were in with a win in their last one against the Dallas Mavs. 21-point win. They shot lights out in that game. Overall, a pretty good ball game for the Pelicans, but still on a downtrend. Now, how do I see this game playing out, guys? As you can see, my line estimate with the actual line, a 1.5-point difference. The Pelicans, actually, Zion Williamson came out publicly and said he's not really too happy with the team. The mood overall, I don't think is that great. Of course, the last win against the Mavs was impressive, but I'm still not convinced, guys. I'm actually going to take the Denver Nuggets, the defending champs here, on the road with the -4.5. I think this 4.5-point line will get some money in on the Pelicans. I'm going to take Denver here minus the points. Up next, we've got the LA Lakers in Portland taking on the Trailblazers. Lakers currently 8.5-point road favorites. I had them favored by 8 points. Lakers 6-6 on the year, 500 basketball for LA. Got a 3-game winning streak snapped in their last one. Got the wheels blown off of them, guys, at home by the Sacramento Kings by 15. A wire-to-wire loss by the Lakers in that game. Anthony Davis, the hip injury that he's been struggling through, actually did look like it affected him last game, even though post-game he did say it didn't affect him. He just played bad. Obviously, something is lurking over there. LeBron James came back. He's been dealing with a bit of a calf issue, listed as questionable for tonight. The Lakers still on an uptrend, though. Like I said before the team's last game against the Kings, where the Kings did shoot lights out, they were on a 3-game winning streak. The Trailblazers, 3-8 on the year, 5-game losing streak for the Trailblazers. Obviously on a downtrend, lots of injuries on the team, not that much talent, but Chauncey Billups does have his guys playing hard in every single game. This 8.5-point line, guys, is about right, but this does kind of look like another letdown spot for the Lakers. They should go in there and cover this spread and win easily, but like I said, the Trailblazers do play hard. If the Lakers play down to their competition, this could get a little tricky. I'm not going to take Portland here with the +8.5. Am I too hot on this? No, but I do have to pick a side in every single game. This is what I do. If I had to pick a side here, guys, it would be on Portland with the +8.5. Up next, we got the Phoenix Suns in Utah taking on the Jazz. The Suns currently 5.5-point road favorites. I had them favored by 5 points. Phoenix, 5-6 on the year, 1 game below 500. They are going to start picking things up, guys. Devin Booker came back in the team's previous game. The big three looked like they were ready to make their debut together. Bradley Beal got ruled out last minute with his back injury that has been troubling him to start the year. Tonight, he is listed as doubtful, not expected to play once again. The Utah Jazz, 4-7 on the year, 3 games below 500. Currently on a 2-game winning streak, though. Couple of wins against not the best of competition, but they have gotten the job done against Memphis. 6-point win in their last one, 16-point W against the Blazers at home. In this game, guys, 5.5-point line. I do think Phoenix is going to start getting on a big winning streak. Even though Bradley Beal is still going to be missing, I kind of like him in this spot, guys. I'm going to take Phoenix here with the -5.5. They are the better team, guys, and I do think they are going to get on a roll. And in our last game of the night, we got the Houston Rockets in LA taking on the Clippers. The Clippers currently 6-point home favorites. I had them favored by 5. The Rockets 6-3 on the year on a 6-game winning streak. Of course, all those games at home. They were on a long homestand. The Houston Rockets have played 7 out of their first 9 games at home. 0-2 on the road, guys. Not scratched yet on the road. On the injury report, couple of players on the list. Victor Oladipo, we know he's out long term, probably will not play this year. And the rookie Amen Thompson listed as out with an ankle injury. The Clippers, 3-7 on the year, 4 games below 500. Of course, a very disappointing start for the Clippers. 6-game losing streak ever since James Harden's been on the team. The team has not scratched yet, not picked up a win. Even though in their last game, guys, against the Nuggets, they did look a lot more improved. Only dropped that game by 3, had their chances to get a big win in Denver, where pretty much nobody wins. Clippers were very competitive in that game. Some positive stuff coming out over there. Now, obviously, guys, this line, 6 points, very high for the Clippers on a 6-game losing streak. But like I've talked about, the Rockets 0-2 so far on the road, have not proven themselves quite just yet. At home, yes, very tough 6-game winning streak. In this game, guys, as tough as this looks, I'm actually going to take the Clippers here with the -6. I don't know if I'm going to put any action on this, but this line, guys, it is definitely inviting money on the Houston Rockets here with the points. This is going to be a contrarian strategy bet. Let's take the Clippers here with the -6, even though it is freaking scary as hell. Clippers, -6, my pick in this game. And this is what I got for you guys today on this Friday, November the 17th, Big 11 game schedule, in-season tournament. We broke each one of the games down tonight, did our analysis, got our picks, and we are ready to go. As usual, guys, I will be posting my best bet of the day down as a pinned comment on this video about an hour before tip-off. Also on my Twitters, you can see down on the screen at Pick'emNBA Bets. If you guys prefer Twitter, you guys can give me a follow there. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, guys, be careful tonight. A lot of uncertainty on the injury report. Always wait to get all the information before putting your bets in. Also, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, lots of big road favorites tonight, some big numbers. You guys putting in those parlays with those favorites, 3-4 games, be careful. It does look trappy tonight. Have to be on high alert. And that is going to be it for me today, guys. I'm going to wrap this video up right here. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Of course, I appreciate every single one of you that tune into my videos. Good luck, guys, on your plays. I will see you again tomorrow in tomorrow's video, Saturday, the weekend. Have a good night, guys. Good luck once again, and I'll see you later.